The horse has been present in South Asia from at least the middle of the second millennium BC, more than 2 millennia after its domestication in Central Asia. The earliest uncontroversial evidence of horse remains on the Indian subcontinent date to the early Swat culture. Claims of stray finds date to earlier times, as early as the middle of the third millennium, but these are not generally accepted. The topic is of some importance to the dating of Indo-Aryan migration to India. Ashva is one of the significant animals finding references in several Hindu scriptures. The horse in Hindu mythology and texts. Rigveda. There are few clear references to actual horse riding in the Rigveda, most clearly in RV 5.61.2-3, describing the Maras as riders. Where are your horses? Where the reins? How came ye? How had ye the power? Rein was on nose and seat on back. The whip is laid upon the flank. The heroes stretch the thighs apart, like women when the babe is born. According to RV 7.18.19, Dasu tribes also had horses. McDonnell and Keith point out that the Rigveda does not describe people riding horses in battle. This is in accord with the usual dating of the Rigveda to the Late Bronze Age, when horses played a role as means of transport primarily as draft animals. Innovation of around the 9th century BC. RV 1.163.2 mythologically alludes to the introduction of the horse and horse riding. This steed which Yama gave hath Trita harnessed, and him, the first of all, hath Indra mounted. His bridle the Gandharva grass. O Vassus, from Mount the sun ye fashioned forth the courser. Yajurveda. The Ashvamedha horse sacrifice is a notable ritual of the Yajurveda. Hayagriva. One of the famous avatars of Vishnu, Hayagriva, is depicted with a horse head. Hayagriva is worshipped as the god for knowledge. Horse symbolism. The legend states the first horse emerged from the depth of the ocean during the churning of the oceans. It was a horse with white color and had 2 wings. It was known by the name of Uchcheshravas. The legend continues that Indra, one of the gods of the Hindus, took away the mythical horse to his celestial abode, the Svarga. Subsequently, Indra severed the wings of the horse and presented the same to the mankind. The wings were severed to ensure the horse remains on the earth and does not fly back to Indra's Suvarga. According to Aurobindo, ASVA may not always denote the horse. Aurobindo argued the words ASVA and Asvavati symbolize energy. ASVA Aratha was also interpreted to be sometimes the psychophysical complex on which the Atman stands or in which it is seated. In another symbolic interpretation based on RV 1.164.2 and Nirukta 4.4.27, ASVA may also sometimes symbolize the sun. Archaeology. Paleolithic remains of the Equus Namadicus have been found from Pleistocene levels in India. The Equus Namadicus is closely related to the Equus surveillanceus. The Equus surveillanceus lived in the Himalayan foothills in prehistoric times, and it is assumed it was extinct during the last ice age. Bronze Age. Remains of horses have been claimed to have been found in deposits at Mahagara near Allahabad, Haldia in Karnataka, Mohenjo-Daro, Harappa, Lothal, Kalibangan, and Kuntrasi. Horse remains from the Harappan site Surkotada have been identified by A. K. Sharma as Equus ferus caballus. The horse specialist Sandor Bocconi later confirmed these conclusions and stated the excavated tooth specimens could in all probability be considered remnants of true horses. Bocconi stated that the occurrence of true horse was evidenced by the enamel pattern of the upper and lower cheek and teeth and by the size and form of incisors and phalanges. However, archaeologists like Meadow disagree, on the grounds that the remains of the Equus ferus caballus horse are difficult to distinguish from other equid species such as Equus asnus or Equus hemionus. An alleged clay model of a horse has been found in Mohenjo-Daro and an alleged horse figurine in Periano Gandhi in the Indus Valley. Troutman thus remarked, "The supply and import of horses has always been a preoccupation of the Indians, and it is a structure of its history. Then, that India has always been dependent upon Western and Central Asia for horses. The paucity of horse remains could also be explained by India's climatic factors which lead to decay of horse bones. Horse bones may also be rare because horses were probably not eaten or used in burials by the Harappans. Other sites, such as the BMAC complex, are at least as poor in horse remains as the Harappan sites. The horse only appears in Mesopotamia from around 1800 BC as a ridden animal and acquires military significance with the invention of the chariot. Domestication of the horse before the second millennium appears to be confined to its native habitat. Colin Renfrew also remarked, "The significance of the horse has been much exaggerated, and Bryant holds, using such negative evidence, by the same logic used to eliminate India as a candidate. Ultimately, any potential homeland can be disqualified due to lacking some fundamental Proto-Indo-European item or another." Renfrew's statement refers to his own Anatolian hypothesis, which is criticized by mainstream scholarship on similar grounds. In RV 1.162.18, the sacrificial horse is described as having 34 ribs. The 4 and 30 ribs of the swift charger, kin to the gods, the slayer's hatchet pierces, cut ye with skill, so that the parts be flawless, and piece by piece declaring them dissect them. Frawley speculates that the Rigvedic horse could therefore be the Indian Equus surveillances. Horse trade. Horse traders are already mentioned in Atharvaveda 2.30.29. A painting at Ajanta shows horses and elephants that are transported by ship.